So now for number 7. It is the Skinjacker Trilogy by Neal Shusterman, and it contains Everlost, Everwild, and Everfound. Now, these books, I had to read one of them for Reading Olympics for school, which is a competition thing with books, but and I had read it and I thought it was really cool, but I never really read the rest of the series. But then I think my mom and I were talking about the book because I made her read it too because it was quite good, and we were like, what about that book that was about the 2 kids that died but then didn't make it to the light? We never really finished it. So over, I think this past summer, we read the 2nd and 3rd books and finished it, and it's a really good book. I wish I had read it sooner because it's just so cool to see a state of, I guess, being between life and death, but only kids can get there. And it's basically, you see the journey through this in-between limbo world through Allie and Nick's eyes, and you see how they cope with being stuck between life and death, and I think that's really cool. And I also thought that it was cool that, like, they keep on saying that no adults are in Everlost because adults, they always get where they want to go, so like they don't go off track, and I thought that was really cool because, I mean, it's kind of true. They don't get lost or stuff, kind of like how kids do. They don't care. Kids, they don't care if they get lost if they're off track. They just go with the flow, I guess. And I thought that was just really cool to include in the book. And also, I thought that was cool is that they used some objects or places and stuff would cross over into Everlost through either a great tragedy happened there, or someone or a group of people or whatever really loved the object or place, and it had like a really emotional attachment to it. So any emotionally attached or tragically destroyed objects or places would cross over into Everlost. Like for example, they have a kid's first birthday cake that was dropped on the floor, and like what was it? The Hindenburg, I think, the big air balloon that exploded and had a lot of tragedy with that. So I thought that was really cool. So, and my favorite book in that series, again, is the first one, Everlost, because I think I loved all of the books. They were all great, but I think Everlost was a little bit better because it set the story and everything, and it was just cool diving into that world. So yeah. Number 6 is The Looking Glass Wars by Frank Beddor. Now, honestly, I like anything that has to do with retellings of fairy tales, like old fairy tales. So of course, anything that has to do with Alice in Wonderland is gonna be amazing, at least to me. So, and I love how this is portrayed as being the real story, like the one that we have been told. Was it by Lewis Carroll? I think it was by Lewis Carroll. That is a fake, like that was a dialed down kid's story, but what really happens is a lot more tragic and a lot more violent, I guess. So I thought that was really cool. And of course, again, my favorite was the first one, the first book, which is The Looking Glass Wars. And I don't know, I think it's really enjoyable. Like, most books on here usually are just mostly aimed at girls, but I think this one is aimed at both guys and girls, because although it has like love and that kind of stuff, it does have action, a lot of fighting, and then magic and stuff too, which is really cool. Sorry about that. Now on to number 5. It's the Lorien Legacies by Pittacus Lore. And right now there are 5 books in the series, but the last one will be coming out next year, I think, so that is something to look forward to. But it's basically about good aliens, Loriens, being on Earth because their planet was destroyed by the bad aliens, the Mogadorians, and so they're trying to save Earth and then also wait until they can return to their planet, I think, and fix it up and restore it. And it's cool because like each of them are given each of the Lorien Legacies, which are what they called, they have different powers, and that's really cool. And they're all, when combined, the powers will help restart their planet or something like that. That's what it says. And in the beginning, all of the Loriens, they were given a number and they had to be killed in that order, so it was like a defensive mechanism. So like if a Mog found number 5, they couldn't kill her unless number 1 was already, 1 through 4 were killed. So it kind of safeguarded, I guess, each Lorien, or at least the later ones, so it gave them time to like hide and buy their time and that kind of stuff. But that all changed if they had gotten together. Most of them had come together to fight against the Mogadorians. So, yeah. I have 2 favorites for this. I couldn't really pick a better one. It's The Rise of 9, which is the 3rd one, and then the 4th one, which is The Fall of 5. I don't know. I loved the first one, which is I Am Number 4, which you've probably heard of because of the movie. Sorry. But the books are way better. The movie is okay, but this is a series where the movie does not do the book justice. So if you get a chance, read the book. But yeah, they're all good. But again, I liked the 3rd and 4th one better. I don't know, it's just, spoiler alert, they've all come together, so you see all of them and you see different perspectives rather than 4's perspective. So I thought that was quite enjoyable.